I just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son.
The fact of the matter is, his trial team has won a number of points in this case.
We want to begin now with some breaking news. Rapper Lil Durk.
Lil Durk reacted to his new release date by making it clear at 18 seconds that he's not checking into protective custody because he's coming home.
The PC. Hey. Hey, I respect your mom forever.
This is all happening because his lawyer, Drew Finling, submitted paperwork to have Lil Durk released on house arrest. As a result, DJ Vlad said at 50 seconds, Lil Durk has a real chance of beating his case. Remember this tweet. At 54 seconds, it was noted that the federal prosecutors began panicking in the courtroom. They don't even seem to know what they want to charge Lil Durk with anymore.
The fact of the matter is, his trial team has won a number of points in this case. Some of the evidence that they wanted to use has actually been withdrawn so that the judge didn't have to exclude it. When they bought this case, they said the conspiracy started in August 2022. That's when Durk arranged to get these rentals, these flights. That's when he made arrangements for the bounty. Then they switched that and they said, actually, the conspiracy started back when Bond, November 2020. And here's the big one. When they charged Durk, they said in the indictment about the bounty that at the direction of defendant Dirk Banks, defendant Wilson, that's OTF Didi, would pay the bounty or monetary reward to the That's gone.
But this is where it gets interesting and why Lil Durk may be in a strong position to win the case. At 1 minute, 48 seconds, it's revealed that prosecutors have added a fallback charge against him. In the court system, this is often seen as a Hail Mary, a last-ditch effort by the feds to lock someone up when they know they're heading into trial with a high chance of losing.
Also added a fallback charge. So when they bought the case, the original indictment, there was no stalking charge. In the second superseding indictment against Durk, they added a stalking charge. And the stalking charge is important because it doesn't require any contract. No quid pro quo, no bounty, no payment theory. You can add that charge and simply prove that, hey, he was telling people to go do this. He didn't necessarily pay them to go do but he was telling them to go follow that guy. He was telling them to go stalk that guy. And a jury can look at it and say, a lot like in the Diddy case, that, hey, not exactly sure here. Very, 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 very suspicious individual over here. I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the lesser charge. And so, when the government puts in that fallback charge later in the case, that tells you that they're not 100% sure.
However, at 2 minutes, 49 seconds, something interesting happened after the court session ended. Despite all the positive news, no rappers in the industry showed any support for Lil Durk at 2 minutes, 57 seconds. This led to Durk's team posting on his Instagram story, saying, "Crazy how you gotta wait until it's dark out to see who's really with you." As DJ Academics explained at 3 minutes, 5 seconds, many rappers distanced themselves after Durk's arrest and instead started linking up with NBA YoungBoy at 3 minutes, 12 seconds, trying to gain any kind of clout they could.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of them went on tour with, songs with, called you their brother, they twin. I wouldn't be surprised if these rappers try to get me. These are down low with Durk. And I think this is what I think Durk right now is thinking that, man, I thought I was just with a whole bunch of real no you. And I feel bad for when King Slime got locked up, there was a whole parade. Free him. Oh nah, everybody would post details of the case. How is this humane? How could they do this? Yo, free Slime. Durk got locked up. They might give that half a bar. Free Smirk. I'll give credit. I have heard some of these guys have said lawyers, good for that, but Smirk is in there, man, realizing the world don't stop spinning.
But if you're still supporting Lil Durk, make sure to like the video, because the prosecutor's panic has actually led to further delays in Durk's trial. This could open the door for a potential house arrest release around 4 minutes. 22 seconds. Let me explain. According to reports, Chicago rapper Lil Durk's murder for hire case was moved at 4 minutes, 28 seconds to Tuesday, August 25th, 2026, during a court hearing today. 3 of Durk's co-defendants in the King Von revenge case, mentioned at 4 minutes, 37 seconds, have filed motions to sever their cases from his trial. This is a major win for Durk, because it means prosecutors won't be able to make him look bad in front of the jury at 4 minutes, 46 seconds by linking him to alleged gang members or using associations against him.
That's what Didi did. He's basically saying all this evidence y'all got against Durk got nothing to do with me. Why you got me charged with Durk? And that doesn't mean he's going against me. That just means he wants his case severed. And I'm telling you, if it's severed, it helps Durk. Because one of the main connective tissue to this conspiracy is saying that Durk told Didi to hire. Didi's saying, I ain't get told to hire nobody. And I ain't hired. You talk? Why would I hire someone? That's his.
However, some investigators believe that Lil Durk may have paid these co-defendants to sever their ties with him after what just happened. At 5 minutes, 32 seconds, reports stated that DJ Academics revealed one of Durk's alleged associates confessed to a cellmate who was reportedly an undercover informant. That 5 minutes, 41 seconds, Durk paid him to carry out retaliation for his brother D-Tang, who passed away.
Gets locked up in a cell, and they give him a cellmate. He tells his cellmate how he murdered him, the homie he did the murder with, and who was supposed to pay for the murder. Thank you. Come again. Perfect. Got him. So he confessed. He said he's talking to a cellmate. Listen to how he's talking to his cellmate, chat. Yeah, I had the standard, folks, with a 60 round in that on Mike. I let 3 shots out when he first came out. Marty said, yo, wait till he get to the car. I said, yo, tweaking, bro. By the time he get to the car, that's enough time for him to get his pipe. Yo, so now the cellmate, who's a confidential source, is saying, tell me more.
This has led some investigators to believe the feds delayed the murder for hire trial so they could possibly add another charge against Lil Durk at 6 minutes, 50 seconds. However, this didn't seem to faze Durk's lawyer, Drew Finling, because at 6 minutes, 54 seconds, he still submitted a request for Durk's release. Reports stated that at the end of the court hearing, 6 minutes, 59 seconds, Durk's lawyer officially filed paperwork for a house arrest agreement. By 7 minutes, for seconds, it was revealed that Durk is even offering to pay an officer's salary to ensure he remains inside his home at all times and that all of his activities are monitored. This means at 7 minutes, 13 seconds, Durk could have a live-in police officer whose sole job will be to monitor him every single day. However, prosecutors didn't let the hearing end in Durk's favor. At 7 minutes, 21 seconds, the judge allowed prosecutors to use all the evidence they want against him, including showing footage at 7 minutes. 30 seconds related to the death of King Von in an attempt to establish Durk's alleged motive for revenge.
Testimony and video surveillance surrounding the death of King Von, and the motion to exclude this evidence was denied, meaning the judge is going to allow witnesses to testify about and allow the video of King Von to be played at the trial. And this is important because prosecutors wanted to use this evidence to argue that King Von is the reason or motive as to why Durk offered this bounty on Fondo Rondo. And so with this ruling, the jury will get to see and hear about all.
They're allowing it for 2 reasons. At 8 minutes, 8 seconds. The first reason is that when King Von passed away, many of his rivals were celebrating online. Prosecutors claim this may have fueled Lil Durk to seek revenge. But comment down below at 8 minutes, 17 seconds, and let me know what your reaction was.
You looked at King Von getting. How did you feel, considering the animosity between you guys up to that point?
Like my real first action.
Yeah.
Thought I was happy.
You're happy.
I was happy.
When you heard that, considering the back and forth that y'all have had in your own ways, how did you feel?
So I'm kind of happy.
You were happy.
Can I say I was kind of happy? No, seriously, I was though. It was fits up. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, he did. But I was happy as when I found out why I cooked for them over there. Wild people.
However, the second reason they plan to show footage of King Von's passing is because the judge has allowed certain lyrics to be used against Lil Durk. At 9 minutes, 11 seconds, the lyrics state, "They be on my page like slide for Vaughn." At 9 minutes, 13 seconds, "I know they're trolling me. I got back in blood. Y'all just don't know." And at 9 minutes, 16 seconds, "That's how it's supposed to be." Prosecutors are linking these lyrics to an interview Durk did with DJ Academics, where he also addressed the slide for Vaughn comments himself.
Triggered by the slide for Vaughn. Still, I don't know if people say. They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. Like, they be saying slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. That's so right.
Reading, I just don't comments with him. Some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water.
Lil Durk mentioning it during an interview gives prosecutors leverage at 9 minutes, 58 seconds, as it shows he was aware of the slide for Vaughn comments. They argue that he then reinforced this by referencing similar ideas and lyrics from an official song he released. At 10 minutes, 9 seconds, the lyrics suggest not responding directly to comments about King Von. At 10 minutes, 12 seconds, I'm like, forget it, you're tripping, they're dropping locations, I'm getting it done. And at 10 minutes, 17 seconds, forget tweeting, we're sliding, the feds are coming. Prosecutors claim this supports their argument that Durk had a motive, suggesting he chose not to respond publicly, but instead took action, which they allege aligns with events later reported on the local news.
Search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
While many people claim that lyrics can't be used against you in a court of law, they actually can. It's just very rare. So when it does happen, like at 10 minutes, 58 seconds, it usually becomes a major issue. Lil Durk's lawyers are expected to counter this in court by arguing that the proceedings aren't fair. At 11 minutes, 6 seconds, they claim the judge is allowing prosecutors to use nearly any evidence they want, while Durk himself is being treated unfairly while in custody. At 11 minutes, 15 seconds, reports stated that the Chicago rapper's legal team filed requests for a status hearing, arguing that Durk has been held in a special housing unit, SHU, without due process since August 29, 2025. According to filing, at 11 minutes, 32 seconds, Durk is confined to a very small cell, just large enough for a single bed, a toilet, and a sink for 23 hours a day. It also states that he has no access to the commissary, is allowed only 1 phone call per month, 11 minutes, 41 seconds, and is not permitted any in-person social visits. The filing further claims he was initially placed in the SHU as punishment for possessing an Apple Watch at 11 minutes, 48 seconds. In addition, inmates from his cell block reportedly contacted people close to Durk at 11 minutes, 55 seconds, saying they didn't even know where he was being held and expressing that the situation seemed unfair.
They got Lil Durk in a hole for basically BS, and right now we're going to show the paperwork. They saying that he was caught with a cell phone, and basically that's not true. They trying to keep him in a hole, do a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing or whatever, but they're trying to make a point because they think that me and him is privileged and we got so many things going on, and it's a lot of BS.
Because of everything happening to Lil Durk, DJ Academics explained at 12 minutes, 43 seconds that once Durk is released from jail, he may not be the same rapper that fans once knew and loved.